The Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, and the Management of the Road Traffic Management Cooperation and Driving License Card Account are giving an update on driving licensing interventions and progress in this regard. Earlier this year, the Department of Transport accelerated interventions to deal with license backlogs and other related issues. Since then, great progress has been made. Let's take you there live.
When we deliver, it must be clear what we're delivering so that everybody can see the work that we're doing. So if it is 95 taps, we must show that there are 95 taps that were boreholes that were delivered there, which is a very important work. But it became a joke, the way we projected it, and yet there was significant work that has been done in that village. Many taps were delivered. So like now, driver's license is a very important service delivery matter, and we are dealing with that. So I want Makosini Msibi to explain the details of the enrollment and the people you see coming here in droves, numbers, what are they, and all of that. And then we will go for a demonstration inside of the smart enrollment we are talking about.
Thank you, Minister. The issue of the smart enrollment, as the Minister has said, is replacing what we know as the LCUs. The smart enrollment has features that are integrated with Home Affairs. How the smart enrollment works, let me pause for a moment and take you back. For you to renew your driver's license, we require you to have currently the ID photos, 2 of them, to fill the form, and have the copy of your ID license. But with the smart enrollment, we only need your finger. When you punch your finger, it calls the photo that you first had when you took your ID at Home Affairs. And we will then immediately take the photo into it automatically, into the driver's license card. That then takes away, you will know that when you're coming for a driver's license, you will pay plus or minus 80 rands or 120 for the 2 photos. We have cut that amount of that you normally pay for photos because the machine itself produces the photos on its own. But what is also important in terms of the smart enrollment is the question of time. You can time when you come in here. Anybody who has an appointment does not stay more than 20 minutes here. So you can plan your day to come at a particular time. If we say 11 o'clock, you time your time. By 20 past 11, you need to be out here because that's the standard service level agreement that we have got into. So you'll see that people that are getting here are people that have the appointments. The people that are getting in here that are queuing are the people who did not make appointments, but we're not turning them away. We service them if they have come to a DLTC in that number. But the second issue, it's also the card collection. There are 3 doors. First is the door that relates to the people that have booked. The second door relates to the people who are what we call card collection, as well as those that have not booked for the slot. Also, in the card collection, you are not supposed to spend more than 15 minutes to collect your card. So we're beginning to deal with all those times to ensure that we're more efficient in terms of those issues. This smart enrollment tests your eyes automatically and check whether you are a person that's supposed to be on our road. If you are not supposed to, we'll then have to refer you to an optometrist with a certificate that will then change the situation or the condition on your driver's license to drive with glasses or with lenses. And if you have what normally it's called code 14 or code 10, if your eyes are no longer working, we devalue your license from code 14 to code 8, but we have a choice that if my eyes are not working well, please change the status of my license to code 8, or I will go to an optometrist to put glasses because we are dealing with the issue of the ability of the eyes on the roads. That's what the smart enrollment is. Thank you, Minister. But how would it provide? If you see here on my right-hand side, and this is not what we normally deal with. On daily basis, we are dealing with a queue that lives up to that entry. Those are most of them are taxi drivers and taxi owners who have not renewed. Some of them have not been renewing since 2018. But we have now made a campaign for people to come and renew. And they are coming in their droves from all provinces. This week, Minister, we have been dealing with people from KZN, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, because of the issue that we are assisting them without the appointments. So if you can visit us even at 9 o'clock, like yesterday in Waterfall, we closed at 11 o'clock, though we closed at 9, because there were queues that were too long. We don't allow people to go home without being serviced. So we close at 9, but we don't close if there are still people on the line.
Just to clarify, the efficiency of smart enrollment, it's also evident in the time that it takes us to receive the information at the DLCA and produce the driver's license card. So the days are going to reduce because once you've done an application here, the application lands with us at DLCA, we're ready to print a driver's license. So that's the efficiency that's there. We've had issues where we've had rejections of driver's license applications due to a number of reasons, but primarily being load shedding. When there's a load shedding, the information does not get to us in time, and it needs to load when there's power. But with smart enrollment, when the DG is done with his application today, it lands with us. We are tomorrow printing the driver's license, obviously given the batches that we do daily. So it's an innovation that we welcome. We're very happy with the innovation because it will assist in ensuring that we run a seamless process in ensuring that everyone has their driver's license short time. Thank you.
Colleagues, there's another round of questions. I see hands.
Thank you, Slinda Lamasegana, ENCA. I noticed in the statement the minister said that the issue is the fact that people have infringements, so they're not going to renew. So how do we then get rid of the infringements? I had one more, but I'll pass on.
Nokanya again from EWN. Minister, just wanted to find out if you're able to share the cost implication of decommissioning the old system into the new licenses. How much is that going to cost? The new technology of that, how much is that going to cost? And are any of those costs then going to be passed down to the motorists themselves? Is it going to cost more to renew your license or anything of the sort? Thank you.
Raymond Valusa from Nedbank. I just want to get clarity on the 1.2 million that still needs to renew. Is those drivers that falls between the grace period in the pandemic? And then we're not going to get an update regarding e-tolls. And Minister, what's your response regarding African score challenge, which says that we don't need to renew our driver's licenses?
Hello, Mr. Minister. Roy Kane from MoneyWeb. If you could just clarify the position with regard to the new driver's license and incorporating the ID into that. I know you mentioned that it's going to Home Affairs. I'm not sure from what you had to say whether a decision has been made or whether it's in the hands of Home Affairs now. And then also if you could just clarify what measures are going to be taken to encourage motorists with the 1.2 million motorists with the expired driver's license to actually come and renew. I don't know if you can have an enforcement campaign or what you're going to be doing, but you said you're upping the ante. What do you mean by that? Thank you.
Let me deal with the first question and the last question in terms of the infringements that are in there. As you see people coming up in droves, we are not writing off the infringements. If you have an infringement, we are ensuring that you are paying. And what the minister has been saying, on the basis that we are going to up the ante, we are going to unleash the law enforcement in terms of all those that have infringements. And what people are coming forward with are then the suggestions that I have an infringement, but allow me to pay in installments. Let me negotiate. So that window has opened and made people to come forward on their own. In fact, you could have run a campaign called Zivese with the issue of the infringements, and that's what you are going to get into, because everybody is willing, acknowledges that I have infringements, I'm prepared to pay, but allow me to stagger the payments in terms of the infringements. Hence, you see all of them coming forth. You can ask them, they will tell you that we all very prepared to pay if we are staggering the infringements. I think I've answered that question. But the question that then begins to deal with the issue of the 1.2. The 1.2 has nothing to do in terms of the grace period that came into the fore as a consequence of the Disaster Management Act. These are people, as I've indicated, some of the people that have been renewing have not been renewing as far back as 2018. So COVID was not there in 2018. Those were the people who are afraid that we're going to arrest them when they come and renew their driver's license. So this grace period that of the negotiations has allowed them to come forward, and they're taking advantage there too. Thank you.
The e-tolls will deal with that by October MTPBS, and that is what I've reported to you. The Minister of Finance and myself, Minister of Transport, we have been dealing with the issue, and I can tell you right now that the conclusion is there. Next week we start the Cabinet Lekgotla. Before or at MTPBS, we'll make the big announcement about the e-tolls. So, Bambelela Mfondi, just hold on. We are there with the decision about the e-tolls. AfriForum, I don't know what they are doing in court, but they like court, so it's fine. But don't follow them, please, because I've explained to you today that I'm reviewing the five years. I'm reviewing it, and I'm going to Cabinet. When Cabinet endorses 8 or 10 years, I'll come back and give you a report. So my submission is on the way to Cabinet to approve. I've received the research report from RTMC. I've got the report, which have said that the minister review. I've gone to the MECs of the provinces. They've also agreed with me about the reviewer. So the final step is Cabinet, and then we'll change the 5-year period. We have looked at different countries in terms of that report. Some of the things that have been said in public about the lifespan and all of that, from a research point of view, have been found to be untruthful when we do the research. So we are improving our driver's license regime. Now with the bringing in of the new card, that will also help us a great deal. The money is budgeted for in terms of the money that is available to the DLCA for the new card. So it's not going to be eating on the pockets of the motorist. So that's what I can tell you. Cabinet have approved the new driver's license with a proviso that we rework on the budget part of it in terms of the new processes we are embarking upon. So the financial part of it, our team in terms of the Director General and the DLCA are working on that, but we do have money. for the new driver's license. So we just have to align our issues from the budgetary point of view, and then report back to cabinet. But it will definitely not eat in your pocket. You have given us a lot over the years. So in terms of the new card, we are not looking at taxing people to upgrade. So that I can give you that particular assurance. So all in all, infringements will not stop. You break the law in terms of the driver's license and all of that, you will face the law on the streets. When we say up in the ante, it's like a slogan, but it means law enforcement will no longer now use some COVID-19 and all of that, so you will be dealt with on the road. So it is important for people to come forward, renew their driver's license. So today we are going to show you the smart enrollment. There's a lot of things that we are doing in terms of the driver's license. You will know some of these issues are before Parliament in terms of the amendment of the National Land Transport Act when it comes to drink and drive. Well, also regulating the driver's license schools. As you know, that driver's license schools are not regulated. The bill, the president returned to Parliament, and we are dealing with that. And I hope before end of the year and before Parliament rise, we will have dealt with that particular bill amendment back to the president, and probably that been signed and done and dusted. So we are very much on track in terms of our work, in terms of the driver's license regime in the Republic of South Africa. Very exciting things are coming up, including the new driver's license that we are going to be implementing in the next month, starting from October. It will take us up until 2029 to complete the entire process. And then we hope to start with, not hope, we will be starting with the processes of that driver's license card before the end of the year. So e-tolls, we are coming to you by October. I think that is the period that we'll be able to come back to. And I'm sure you are hoping that we scrap. Now, for every scrap, there's always another thing that comes up and all of that. But don't say I said the e-tolls will be scrapped. Wait for me to come back with the Minister Kotongwana.